Hi guys! I got so excited when I went to check my mail today and I got a package from ColourPop. Um, Let me just tell you, when I first got really passionate about makeup, I would get a lot of eyeshadow palettes. Elf, from NYX, Wet n Wild, Inglot, not too expensive brands, but you know, brands like that. And I would get like multiple of the Elf quads or the Wet n Wild quads, you know. And I just wanted the more the better. And you know, the trends for the last 3-4 years has really been minimalism on YouTube. At least that's what I'm watching. I've realized I am not able to use half of the makeup that I have in my makeup collection. I don't really like half of the makeup I have, or I used to have in my makeup collection. And so I started all these project painting projects and declutters and just downsizing to a point where I just really have exactly not what I need, because I don't need any of it, but exactly what I want. Last year I only bought one eyeshadow palette, which was the Tati Beauty one. And a few months, or maybe like a month or two before that came, this palette came out. I might as well show you guys. It is the So Jaded palette, in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. It came out and I thought to myself that it had beautiful colors. I love Kathleen Lights and I love this crystal theme, and I really wanted the palette, but I knew it's really expensive to bring, to buy stuff from overseas, really, and bring it back to Norway. So getting this palette now, plus one Super Shock shadow, was about almost $50 for me to get. So it's really expensive, and for me, I really have to prioritize if I really, really need this, or again, not need, but want. It looked a lot bigger in video than it actually does in real life, because, I mean, I don't know if you can see, but I thought it was more like 88 palette, or like a Morphe palette size, but it's really not. It's really not that big. Yeah, so I just kind of try to forget about this palette. But then when Tati Beauty came out with her palette, I was so quickly to buy it, and I thought to myself, okay, so the Tati Beauty palette is going to be this year's palette, and maybe if I do well, you know, project panning and focusing on the makeup that I already have, I can kind of gift myself a new palette for next year. And so that's really what I've done. And I feel like even though in this palette I get both warmer and cooler tones, I get a lot of inspiration, which I feel like I've been lacking now. Especially this last year, it's been really boring to project pan. The two palettes that I have, I'm just starting to get so sick of. And so sorry, Project Pan 2020. These next weeks, before we end the year, it's probably going to be dedicated to this new palette, because I am so excited. And when I opened this palette, I was very nervous because it wasn't going to be surprising to me if some of the eyeshadows were shattered, but luckily they weren't. And I know this is old news for most of you guys. Maybe this palette, maybe a lot of you already have this, I would assume, since this is kind of an older palette. But yeah, I'm still really excited about it, and I thought maybe if I do a kind of first impression, kind of the first kind of look, I haven't even swatched these or anything, I just wanted to do it with you guys and explore the palette, and maybe it'll give you some inspiration to grab this in your makeup collection if you already have it, and play around with it some more. Maybe they perform differently when I swatch them, but they do look a lot more like muted than they look on pictures. Yeah, they look more muted in real life. So I'm really excited. If you look at the lines down here, I feel like these shadows go so well together all the way, pretty much. There's 30 eyeshadows, 1 Super Shock shadow, and 2 glitter eyeshadows, which I don't understand why she put those in there, since you can't really, or you're not supposed to put them on your eyes. I don't know what I'm gonna do about those, but yeah, I'm really excited about those other ones. So yeah, that's enough rambling, and maybe I should just start swatching them. And I think I'm gonna swatch them like I said, like do this row first and then that one, then that one. Yeah, it looks really nice. The Super Shock shadow is very like, it's kind of wet around the sides of it, so I'm just imagining this drying out really fast, and I'm talking from experience because these ColourPop Super Shock shadows dry out so fast, and if it's the same formula, yeah, it's probably not going to be good in a month or 2. I swatched Diamond, and then there's like a nude shade and a beautiful yellow shade, and then a matte brown, and then there's like a emerald green. From the top, it is Emerald, Geodude, Peridot, My Precious, and Diamond. And I think they go so well together. Next, we've got a darker warm nude, or like a nude brown, a peachy gold, coral brown, or yeah, still a peachy brown. Yeah, peachy brown. Oh, and they're so soft. Oh, that's very pigmented. What's the name of that? Carnelian. Matte mossy green color. They're so gorgeous, and I don't really like green, but lately I've kind of, you know, enjoyed wearing green on my eyes. From the top, Jade, Carnelian, You're a Gem, Sunstone, and Rose Quartz. A ruby red, and it's called ruby, so yeah. A beautiful like champagne color, and there's the glitter, and that's very, wow. Okay, I'm not even, I know I can't really use this because it's gonna have a ton of fallout. It's called Stone, and it's really a stone color, like this 90s grunge kind of shade. And then there's a light metallic, satin finish probably is what you call it. Yeah. So from the top, there's Alexandrite, Stoned, Topaz is the glitter, and then there's Pearl and Ruby. It's just beautiful colors. How I'm going to swatch, I'll swatch the next ones. I'm not good at this. I've been doing YouTube for so many years, and I watch these people just evolve and get just better and better with camera and lights and effects and editing and talking and explaining and everything. They're so good at it. And I've been doing this for how long? Is it like 8 years or so? And I'm still just as bad. Wow. No wonder I don't have many followers. But okay. The next row is going to be a matte. Royal Jewels and You're a Gem is very similar. They're just slightly darker, slightly lighter. So the Royal Jewels are a little bit lighter in tone than You're a Gem. Then there's a mustard yellow, which I love. I'm so happy that this shade is is in the palette because I've kind of been missing that in my collection. That it does not have much pigment. The Tiger Eye, it's also a kind of a boring color shade. It's just like a satin finished brown. This is like a burgundy shade, I would say. Burgundy brown. And lastly, Smoky Quartz. That's beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay. So from, how is this going to be? From the right for you, it's going to be Royal Jewels, Citrine, Tiger Eye, Jasper, and Smoky Quartz. Oh, this is very like soft. It's almost like non-existent. But it is like a light, shimmery, metallic lavender, and this is probably gorgeous all over the eye, and just that's it. Then there's really strongly pigmented dark brick red, I would say. And then there's another glitter, and this is pretty dry. This is so dry. And it will not stay on the lids at all. I'm 100% sure. That's the next row. This is such a mess, but it starts right here with, okay, let's see. Fluorite, and then there's Garnet, which is the brick red, and then there's Opal, Turquoise, and Amethyst. So the top here is just, it says Moonstone. I guess that's a good description. Oh, and the Ametrine has a lot of fallout, but it's a gorgeous, like this Ametrine is probably typically what I would go for, like a mauvey shade. Aquamarine, iridescent, light, shimmery turquoise. Onyx is a black. Does it have glitters? Yeah, maybe a little bit. And then there's Sapphire, which, oh, wow, that's intense. Okay, that's what they look like. That's gorgeous. Okay, so from swatching, my favorites are probably Ametrine and Sapphire, Fluorite. That's probably going to be my favorite, like, everyday shade, because it's going to be so easy to just put on. And then Smoky Quartz is gorgeous. Okay, so we are 24 minutes in, and I haven't started doing my makeup. This is like me in a nutshell. Of course, I forgot to film, but I have put on 2 eyeshadows, and I'm not going to go back and do it. I said I'm gonna pick up my kids pretty soon, so I want to do an okay everyday makeup look. So I started out with My Precious all over the lid, which was the nude shade, and then Ametrine in my crease. I topped off the glitter and I put that in my crease, and I'm going to find a shade to darken up that outer V, or outer part of the eye a little bit. I think I'm going to try the Garnet, which was sort of the, what was it? The ruby red shade. So I just take the tiniest bit of that and just place it and blend it into the outer part of my eyes. I'm using a flat brush to apply the Moonstone all over the lid, except from the part where I put the Garnet. Pearl in the inner corners of my eye. Then I'm going to put the mustard tone, the Citrine, on my lower lash line. Then with a really small detail brush, I'm going to apply Alexandrite to the outer part of the lower lash line. And I can't say I'm getting a lot of pigment here. I'm kind of struggling a little bit. Then I'm using Stoned on the outer V and along the upper lash line, the half outer part of it. I feel like it's okay, but it doesn't give me like a punch of color, if you know what I mean. I'm going to try and deepen it even more with this shade. Lastly, I'm going to do the Super Shock shadow. And that just makes everything so much nicer. It's very subtle though, but it's beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face off camera, and then I'll be right back. I'm done with my makeup look. This is how it ended up. My lips are covered in Kiko's Pink Sand lipstick, and I see that now that I went for the typical mauvey eyeshadow look that I always do. I'm sorry, that's just me. It was just easy for me to gravitate to those kind of shades, but I really like how it looks. Yeah, that was it for today. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Bye.